Welcome to another video on smart architectural programming. And in today's video, we're going to basically be going over how you can quickly and efficiently master Python very quickly, right? That's the aim of this video, to do this at a very quick pace. So we're just going to go over what are the fundamental things that you need to understand to learn Python at an extremely efficient and a quick pace. You might not be great at what you might want in Python, but you'll be at least somewhere there by following this methodology to be able to get jobs in Python. So Python is one of the most versatile and widely used programming languages today. It is known for its readability, adaptability across fields from web development to data science. However, learning Python quickly requires a very strategic and efficient approach. And that just goes beyond just studying the syntax. Today, I will cover all of these steps that would be needed to accelerate your Python learning journey and focusing on the practical application, building solid foundations, and sustaining consistent approach. So without any other aspects to it, let's move on to the first thing, which is understanding why Python is special and focusing on the core fundamentals. So you need to understand that Python is a very readable and simple language. Its syntax is simple and intuitive. It allows you to focus on building projects rather than wrestling with complex syntax. Python's strong community support also makes resources and documentations widely accessible. So what do you need to do immediately? So the first thing you need to do in this portion is to basically focus on the core focus areas of Python. You need to look into variables and data types. You need to start with understanding basic data types: integer, floats, strings, lists, tuples, dictionaries, and how they're used basically. Once you learn that, you need to focus on control structures. You need to understand loops, for and while loops, and conditional statement, which includes if, elif, and else statements basically. After that, you need to focus on functions and modules. You need to create simple functions and understand how to import and use built-in Python modules. While you're doing all of that, you also need to avoid trying to learn everything at once. Instead, learn incrementally. Master one concept before moving on to the next, and then next, so on and so forth, allowing each topic to build on the previous one basically. So that's basically what you need to do first. Number two, you need to adopt a project-based learning approach. Instead of wasting time on going over tutorial after tutorial, book after book, you need to focus on mastering those fundamentals and immediately get into a project-based learning approach with your Python journey. You begin with small, realistic projects. After learning the basics, you create small projects that allow you to practice what you've learned. You can do a simple calculator to practice operations. You can do a to-do list or a basic note-taking app to practice lists and dictionaries. You could do a weather scraper to get familiar with data parsing and working with APIs. Similarly, you can move to, after these projects, for these small micro projects, you can move towards more complex projects gradually, like building, building something that's relevant to your interests, such as a personal blog for web development and data visualization project for data science. You can look around for what interests you, what your specialization could be, and focus on that particular interest subject and build more complex projects step by step on that field. Similarly, you can integrate new knowledge activity. You can learn libraries like Matplotlib for visualization or requests for web scraping in context, applying them directly to your projects. Once you're done with that, you can move into the next aspect or next consideration to learn Python quickly, which is to build a consistent practice habit. So while you're doing all of that, this is more so of a principle that you need to apply during your learning process. You need to be very consistent with your time. You need to apply a daily practice, and you need to be consistent with this. Even if you're spending 15 to 30 minutes of daily, 15-30 minutes, that practice for coding is more effective than any sporadic intense sessions, doing 5 hours on Sunday and then doing another 5 hours on the next Thursday, so on and so forth. So you need to be consistent. It's better you give 15-30 minutes every day than doing 6-7 hours on a single day for a week, right? So this consistency helps you reinforce Python because you get frequent exposure and small victories. Similarly, you need to use coding challenges to strengthen problem solving skills. Platforms like LeetCode, HackerRank, or Code Wars offer exercises that reinforce logical thinking and coding efficiency. Start with beginner problems and progress as your confidence grows. We have covered a lot of these LeetCode and Blind 75 and HackerRank problems on our channel. So if you if you don't understand a problem, please look into those, and that would help you understand exactly how the thinking and logical think process goes through to solve these problems. Similarly, track your progress. And these are the third point is basically something you need to apply while you're doing 1 and 2. So you need to track your progress. Consider keeping a coding journal or repository on your GitHub where you document what you've learned, review past projects, and can be confident to boost your record of improvement. Similarly, you need to focus on leveraging online resources effectively. So that is a very important aspect to this as well. So it's not just about doing learning fundamentals and then doing big projects and doing that efficiently. You need to also be able to research and leverage online resources effectively. Pick a well-structured course that covers all basics comprehensive, such as FreeCodeCamp or FreeCodeCamp. So if you look at the screen right now, and let me actually show you, there's a very effective way to learn Python, that is freecodecamp.com.org basically. So this they have a comprehensive course on Python, and which you can focus on and learn a lot from basically. So let me open that course so that we can take a brief look at it. Give me a second. Let me get this logged in. So as you see, basically, let's move to the homepage for FreeCodeCamp. As you see here, we have a course here on Python, basically introduction to course on Python. It covers everything in this particular course. So always remember that there's so many good courses out there. Focus on them. There's also CS50 from Harvard. That is also a very, very good course. Also, there's a introduction Python for everybody course by University of Michigan. That is a very, very good course in learning Python. And let me open that as well, so you can take a brief look at that as well. So these courses are very, very effective because they've already been structured in teaching you all the fundamentals, so on and so forth. So focus on learning these courses effectively and pushing ahead. Right? You select one. Don't go on to many courses. Select one course and just push ahead on that course. Stop wasting your time and start learning. Basically, don't spend too much time researching these courses. So after you've chosen a course and along with that you're leveraging Python documentation, you reference documentation, official Python documentation, because official documentation community forums like Stack Overflow are invaluable for finding precise, reliable answers to your problems that might pop up. Bookmark frequently used commands and refer to these as you build your project. Similarly, you need to watch tutorials with a purpose. Avoid passive viewing or tutorial hells. Only seek tutorials when you're tackling something new or struggling for a specific topic. Apply what you watched right away to reinforce your learning. Similarly, next thing you need to remember is to basically tailor your learning based on your goals, basically. Instead of doing random learning after you learn the fundamentals and after you start making complex projects, focus your learning towards specific area of interest. Python is used in many fields, from data science to web development to automation and scripting. Tailor your learning towards the area you're most interested in. Relevant libraries and frameworks. If you want to learn web development, you can focus on Flask and Django. If you want to learn data science, focus on Pandas, NumPy, and Matplotlib. If you want to focus on machine learning, you can look into scikit-learn or TensorFlow. Similarly, you need to learn how to debug efficiently. You need to begin debugging early on, which will help you learn more about Python's error handling and logic flow. Start by understanding error messages and using simple print statements before moving to debuggers. Similarly, next thing you can look into scikit-learn or TensorFlow. You need to focus on is engagement with community, basically. So Python is a very, very old, not old language, but it's a very, very used language, which means it has a lot of community support to it. So you need to join online coding communities, participate in forums like Reddit, Stack Overflow, or Python-focused Discord servers. Asking and answering questions accelerates your learning process by exposing you to different perspectives and solutions. Similarly, You can focus on pair programming and code reviews. Collaborate with others on small projects, or even participating in code reviews can teach you to write cleaner code and consider alternative approaches. Similarly, you should also participate in hackathons and open source projects. Contribute to open source projects or hackathons gives you real world exposure to Python's collaborative potential and helps you gain confidence. And basically, all of that helps us focus on one thing. Learning Python quickly requires discipline and consistency, and focus on hands-on practice. By starting with core fundamentals and engaging in real-world projects and utilizing the vast resources Python has to offer, you can master the language at an accelerated pace. Keep learning actively, engage with the community for guidance and support. Remember, focus on what the 7 points that we discussed in this video, and hopefully that should help you to accelerate your Python journey very, very quickly. With that, we're going to wrap this video up, and we'll see you in our next video. Thank you.